Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to Bassdad Audio TV. I'm your host, Jeff Moreland. Today we were supposed to have a video on the Ruthless 10K, but as you can tell, we're not gonna do that. I'm not quite finished editing it yet, and I really want it to be the way that it should be instead of rushing it. So instead, I'm gonna show you this video on the Taramps Smart 3K. The Taramps Smart 3K is an amazing amplifier. A lot of people like it. It actually gets a lot of hate too. Puts up some really crazy numbers, but it's kind of built like a toy. For them to get that budget price, they have to cut corners somewhere. So they cut corners on the build quality, but it puts out major amounts of power. It's a really cool amplifier. It's fun to watch, and it's a really good video. Make sure you stay to the end so you can watch the half ohm test that's at the end. Again, puts up some really crazy numbers. Taramps is really kind of the only amplifier that's involved in smart technology right now. And smart technology isn't what you think. It's not like Alexa or Siri or anything like that, and anything to do with the internet. It's where they try to make the amplifier put out the same amount of power regardless of the ohm load. So low ohms, high ohms, it should still put out the same power. Even though it doesn't quite get it that way, it still puts out a little bit more power at low ohm rates, and it's really amazing what they can get out of these amplifiers. So, and I'm not a technician. If I didn't explain it right, don't come for me. I'm just trying to explain it the way that I know. I may get somebody to come on here and talk to us about it, maybe Bear Vids or somebody like that will do that for me. But anyway, guys, it's a really cool video. I hope you stay to the end. If you like content like this, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see content like this in the future, hit the subscribe button.
Whoa, what is this? Are you in here asking people for free stuff again?
Dad, it's not begging. It's called growing my channel.
Right, because that's what every kid dreams of, being a professional beggar.
That's funny. It's called content creation, and I don't think you'd understand.
Oh, I understand, all right. But while you're in here asking people to subscribe to whatever the heck is going on in here, please tell me why it smells like a bag of hot nuts in here.
I had to prioritize content over cleanliness.
Is that a fucking pizza box over there? I thought you were trying to get healthy.
It's just part of my creative process.
What about the creative process of cleaning up this pigsty?
Well, that's a whole different video.
I'll tell you what, I can help you clean it, but you gotta explain to me what the heck vlogging means.
That's kind of like a video diary, Dad.
So it's just talking to the camera? Who's listening?
A lot of people are listening, actually.
Can them people help me fix my truck? Did you pay for that amplifier?
No, I didn't have to pay for the amplifier. They actually gave it to me.
Son, I thought we raised you better than this.
It's what they do so they can advertise their products.
If you say so, it sounds like damn communism to me. Man, clean this stuff up, get a job, pull your pants up, quit begging people for stuff.
All right, folks, I'm sorry about that. My dad's gonna be staying with me for a little bit, so we're probably gonna see him again. Make sure you subscribe so you can check out some more of my questionable life choices.
We just did the MD 3K. Now we're gonna do the Smart 3K. I figured why not do it while we had the MD right behind us to compare to, as well as this is a really common amp. A lot of people dog on it. The reason being is because it makes a lot of power for a small amplifier. Is it gonna live up to the hype? Is it everything everybody said it is? Is it a hunk of junk? Let's find out. Taramps had been known pretty much for catching on fire a lot before this amp came out. They definitely hit a home run with this one. It's a big seller for them. Does amazing amounts of power, and they're pretty much the leaders in what they call in the amplifier world smart technology. Let's cut this thing on. I think we got it hooked up right. I don't know. Let's see. Let's find out. It's this one. Now, if I remember right, this lights up on the top. So hopefully that happens and we don't get any sparks. Yay. So I scrolled down a little bit and I found some better information. What is a smart amplifier? A smart amp replaces traditional continuous power design principles and hardware-based speaker protection methods with algorithms that allow significant increases in peak power output, loudness, and sound quality relative to conventional amplifiers. It just kind of means that this amplifier is going to try to make the same amount of watts at whatever ohm load you have it wired to. So if you have it wired to 2 ohms or 1 ohm or half an ohm, it's supposed to make the same thing. That's why it says 1 to 2 ohms on it instead of just one, specific ohm load. Let's see if it really does that. Four ohm uncertified test. 2,192 watts, 14.29 volts, 220 amps for an efficiency of 69.74%. 4 ohm dynamic test. 2,273 watts. 2 ohm uncertified test. 3,289 watts, 389 amps, 13.61 volts for an efficiency of 62.12%. 2 ohm dynamic test. 4,004 watts. 1 ohm uncertified test. 3,710 watts, 355 amps, 13.60 volts for a much improved efficiency of 76.84. I wonder if that has anything to do with the smart tech in this thing. Comment below if you know. 1 ohm dynamic test. 6,331 watts.
All right, guys, you can see I'm all sweaty. While I've been doing this test, I've been running back and forth. I had a diaper to change. I had some trash to take out, a whole bunch of honeydews to do. So that's why I call this the Bassdad Show, because I never know what's going to happen. Lots of honeydews, lots of other things going on. Probably just a lot like you guys have. All right, but we handle it because we're men, and that's what we got to do. But we can still have a little bass fun. Now, for the Taramps Smart 3, we got 3,500 watt at 1 ohm uncertified, and what we get? 6,300 watt. We got 6,300 watts on a dynamic track. Guys, this is what I think about dynamic tracks. A lot of people will tell you the jump don't mean anything, and I can get behind that logic. When you're talking about music, it's probably more dynamic than anything else, unless you're listening to like strong like bass tones. I mean, nobody is listening to test tones. Like, we used to listen to some songs like, what was it, like Master P, Bourbons and Lax. That one had a lot of like that bass tone in the 90s and stuff. Dynamic tests are probably more close to what you hear on radio. All right, and with that being said, man, 6,000 watts out of a $200 amp, there's no math to be done there. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? Now, if you like quality looks, things like that, probably not gonna get it out of this amp, man. It's got some plastic parts. Feet are plastic. The back is kind of, it just doesn't feel solid. It's got some funky ridge stuff on the
heatsink that's hard to clean. It's only got one set of speaker outs, you know, to tap into, and they're not very big. You only got 4 gauge power and ground. To me, is a total mistake. They should have done 0 gauge, which I think they fixed that on the Big Boss. I think that's probably the go-to amp for guys that are looking for a strong bass if you want a guitar amps. And they're cheap too. They're not very expensive. I think you can get a 8K for like $699, but they've got the bigger ins and outs and stuff like that. And we'll get to that because we've got more amps to Dyno. But for the $240, a lot of times you can find them used for cheaper. I got this one for way a lot cheaper than that. I see them all the time, man, for $150, $175, even $125. And I'll tell you this, I've had a lot of amps on my Dyno bench, and a lot of people will say that like, your Brazilian amps like this are junk and this and that, but I ain't never been able to blow it up. I've blown up a lot of other amps just taking it through the regular test. And I've done a 0.5 test with a Smart 3. I've done some hard, you know, uncertified side wave tests, and it's always fine. Everything goes into protect. So there's something to be said, man. They are built kind of like a tank. Smart 3, my opinion is, yes, definitely a Bassdad budget buy. Are there better amps? Are there better looking amps? Yes, and yes. For the price and for the output, you really can't beat it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Bassdad. If you like these kind of tests or these kind of videos, do me a favor, man. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. All right, show your boy some love. Hit the notification bell. That way you can be notified every time one of my videos drop. Guys, we got another amp dyno coming really soon. But until then, you can watch more of my videos on YouTube right now.
Let's catch myself.
Tried this a couple times, but got a Smart 3, 1 to 2 ohm one. Here we've got a 40 hertz burst track from the Demore Engineering Dyno CD for the 81, and we're gonna run that on here to this 1/2 ohm resistive load and see what happens. Let's go. Smart 3, guys. Holy moly, roly diamond whizzels. Dude, that is insane. That is insane.
Some people say, boy, never gonna learn. Fool me once and you fool me twice. Don't know the difference in truth and life. You fool me once and you fool me twice. Don't know the difference in truth and life. Never